The morning after the night before, Kate Miller-Heidke.
William, it's so lovely meeting you finally.
Green eyes, green coat. I am in awe of your beauty.
Oh, the feeling is totally mutual.
Oh my gosh, she can flatter a gay. Last night, live performance here in Europe, your song Zero Gravity. How did it go?
Look, I was really happy with how it went. The audience were amazing. The vibe in the room, it was just so supportive. And yeah, it was a ride for me, like an adrenaline rush.
Is there ever a fear? Because your song is not the typical song we might hear in an arena, but you made it work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, look, I do think the song, was written to be performed live, and like it goes on, it sweeps through these crazy dynamics. I think it actually, weirdly makes more sense live than it does possibly on recording.
Ah, okay. You go in so many different directions. You take it high. You're, nothing holding me down. Well, there are all these things happening. For your voice to do all these things, not these tricks, but these flourishes, does it wear the voice out? Is it very challenging?
It is actually. I'm a songwriter, and I've had a career in sort of folk songs. This particular Eurovision adventure for me was an opportunity to kind of really push my voice to the extremities. I kind of had to do that, because I think it's what hopefully kind of will set me apart and kind of lift my song. But yeah, like it's not easy, and I actually had to go and get some singing lessons and have a little look under the bonnet and have a bit of a tinker down there. I hadn't looked down there for quite a long time, but just to kind of make sure that everything's really rock solid, because I've heard that the actual Eurovision is a total marathon and you don't get much time to rest or anything. So it's a challenge.
I keep thinking of that episode in Sex and the City where they hand someone a compact because you said you haven't been down there in a while. Sorry if I'm giggling in my head.
Actually, yeah, that reminds me. I've got to add that to my to-do list.
That makes
as
two
well.
of us. In any case, voice lessons for a legend. We saw you crawling on the floor in your vocal coach's office. It seems like there are many techniques and tricks to improving one's voice.
Yeah, and they all make you look like a complete freak and a lunatic. But backstage last night, everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone's got something that works for them.
Okay. And because you're already such a vocal superstar, what can you possibly learn?
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. But in terms of my operatic technique, it's my own kind of weird hybrid style. Real proper opera singers would probably call me a fraud. Sorry, real opera singers. So yeah, that's the thing that that's what I just had to kind of nail down, because I didn't make it easy for myself stupidly. I made it quite high, so just had to just get that shit in order.
And could we clarify something? Because I think for non-music people, the word popera is thrown around quite a bit, but in reality, you're more of like a hybrid crossover singer. If there was a zoo of musicians, you'd be an exotic species.
Yeah, or something genetically modified, like a cow with 3 ears. Yeah. Look, it's not something I deliberately set out to do. I studied classical singing. I always loved to sing. I just loved singing any style, really. But ultimately, my big passion is writing songs, and I like to write things that come from an authentic emotional place, and songs that mean something to me. And so they don't necessarily incorporate crazy vocal fireworks. But in this case, this is a theatrical song.
And the song has a very important message, of course, and you've talked about it before, fighting depression, coming through. And I really feel that at the end of the song, when the vocalists are going, nothing holding me down, nothing holding me down. Could you just tell our viewers, again, the meaning of the song and what it means to you?
Yeah, sure. I wrote Zero Gravity after a period of depression following the birth of my son, Ernie. And the song tries to capture the feeling of coming out of that fog, And the feeling when the fog lifts, you know, for me it was this incredible relief, because when you're in that, it feels like it's going to go on forever. And just to see the world come back into colour, to feel powerful and in control of your life again, to me there was this edge of kind of absolute elation that came with that, and that's what this song sort of, it tries to go on that journey, and so it ends in a really empowering place.
Oh my goodness, chill bumps. Really, look at my wrist, honey. That is crazy. How, I guess, do you have advice for people? Because we have so many young viewers and readers and et cetera, and they often talk about the issues they're struggling with. What advice do you have for people to get over depression, to come out of it?
Look, I would say reach out, you know, tell people, get help, talk to your friends, to your parents, whoever is there in your life supporting you.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea you were a mother all these months, but it explains so much about your aura, the calm, the serenity.
Oh, great, yeah, that's all a facade.
Can your son sing your songs?
He's not a fan. He's
no.
he prefers me to be quiet, mummy. Yeah.
No one at Eurovision will tell you that, I promise.
Well, thank you so much.
The running order's come out. You, of course, are in the second half, towards the end of the semi-final. How do you feel about that?
I feel good, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I've got no control over it. I'm on right before Hatari, which is pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to getting off stage and having a boogie, or whatever I will be doing, side of stage watching them, because I love those guys. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good spot. Is it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Just be careful in the crossover with their spikes. I don't want them to rip whatever you're wearing.
Oh yeah, thank you. Well, I can always impale them with my headpiece on my way through. Yeah.
Speaking of your beauty on stage, you've talked about changes that are coming, and I know it's a secret, but I guess what motivated the changes? Can you talk about that?
I think Australia Decides was a really great opportunity to kind of have a trial run at a first draft of staging and see kind of what was working and what wasn't. And, you know, some aspects of it I really like and want to keep, but I think ultimately, you know, there was possibly a bit too much going on. It was a little bit like, sensory overload. And we've just tried to distill, you know, the essence of it and come back to the meaning of the song and the vocals, the voice, and put that center stage. And yes, like, the staging is still going to have an element of spectacle, but it's going to be streamlined and elegant, and I think, you know, I think it's going to be more beautiful. I hope so.
Oh, it's so interesting because in the past, obviously, Australia didn't have a chance to have that dry run because they just turned up in Europe and here are the cameras.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So this is exciting. Y'all can take it to the next level for the first time, really.
Well, I hope so. Like, yeah. I mean, not to say that the other acts haven't been incredible. They were all amazing too. But I think I am lucky to, you know, get 2 runs at the staging. Absolutely. For sure.
And do you think there's a difference performing for an Australian audience and a European audience?
Not really. I think people are people. Yeah, and Australians love Eurovision so much. I mean, I think, we desperately want to be in Europe in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I don't feel that. No.
So many of the acts, what I love about Eurovision is you get newcomers who have just come off a talent show, and then you have really established artists like yourself or Sergei Lazarev. You've performed big venues already all over the world. Can you tell our viewers some of those venues you have performed at and slayed at?
Well, I guess I'm trying to think now. I've performed at the Metropolitan Opera in New York. That was pretty cool, and the English National Opera in London. Toured around the world with Ben Folds, playing a lot of gorgeous old theatres, like all around America and Europe, actually, and the UK and Australia. Yeah, the Sydney Opera House several times with the Sydney...
Several times.
Yeah, so many beautiful venues. The Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, that was a highlight, and the Hammersmith Apollo in London for sure. But having said that, I have never done anything on this scale before. This is this eclipses everything in terms of just how huge it's going to be. I've never done anything with this amount of staging, and just the sheer number of people watching is totally like unprecedented for me.
There are a billion Australians in London. Hey, Matt in London. And literally, before the songs even came out for Australia Decides, people were writing to me saying, oh, Kate Miller-Heidke's going to win. I was like, how you know? I heard her song. And they're like, she's going to win. And you won. All of that to say, there is so much support for you from Australians abroad. What is it like to carry this weight on your shoulders?
Look, it is a big responsibility, and I take it seriously. You know, like I don't want to let people down. Like I feel it, but also, you know, I really don't want to let myself down. Like I'm gonna work really hard to try to make the performance the best it can be.
Nothing holding you down.
Well, I hope not. I mean, you know, I'm giving it all my focus for the next month.
Kate Miller-Heidke, final question for you. Is there anything about the KMH, the Kate Miller-Heidke, that the world doesn't know but should? Or that they misunderstand?
I can touch my nose with my tongue.
Oh my God.
I've never shown that to anyone before.
I hope you washed your face this morning.
Yeah, I did taste something like that.
A little salty. Kate Miller-Heidke, such a pleasure to meet you.
You too,
Thank you so much. We're wishing you all the best, all the luck, but you don't need it because you slap.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh my God, I'm honestly...
Mwah.